It's important to understand where line haul has been with their hours of service and understand how roadside inspections and violations affect not only the contractor, but also how it affects Federal Express Corporation under their DOT number. So, where do you find that information? You find it at this CSA website that's operated by the FMCSA, and you can go to this website. It's public information. And that's what we're going to show you right here. And you put in their DOT number. This is the current DOT 86876, and you get to the actual information for Federal Express Corporation. I mentioned this in the course, but I also want to mention it here that this is where you get the correct information to put inside your ELD. So when you're setting up your ELD for your contract, you need to put in Federal Express Corporation, this DOT number right here, and this address, not your contract name, not FedEx, not FedEx Corp, nothing like that. This inside of your ELD must match what this DOT says. There's a regulation to that, so that's why we have that here. So let's get into what is going on with the hours of service. So if we go with the hours of service here, and you can see here, there's a nice little view here that you can see the contractors came into the hours of service to this DOT and this hours of service back in June, probably more closer to April of 2024. So if you look at that, if you go back to April right here, this is when the contractors came in. And then it starts trending up, trending up, trending up, trending up. So that's a problem. That's why you're starting to get more emails from line haul saying, you got to do more stuff with your logs. You got to do a better job. You got to do all of this, extra stuff. This is what they're concerned about. Is this keeps going up and up and up, and say it goes up to 0.13, keeps going up, starts leveling off there. This is what is going on, and this is what the problem with the DOT and this. So make sure that you have an understanding of that and that you see what's going on here. Now, let's get into the nuts and bolts of all this. So this is just the hours of service. This is not the other things that they are graded on. This is just that. And so if you go into the violation summary, this is showing you what the problems are. I can tell you that almost 90% of these violations are due to drivers not knowing how to use their ELD tablet. Let me say that again. 90% of these violations are due to your driver not understanding how to use the ELD tablet. So, right here, 36 violations for form and manner. What's form and manner? I don't have the right name of the corporation in my ELD. I have my contractor name in there, or I have FedEx, or I have, some weird variation. That's form and manner violation. Not putting in the trailer numbers is a form and manner violation. Not putting in something for shipments is a form and manner violation. So 36 of their violations are just because the driver did not put either the shipments or the trailers in, or the contractor didn't set their ELD up properly for all of their drivers. Failing to certify logs, 20 violations. Again, user error. Does your driver know how to certify their logs? And that is the key, that they understand that. Cannot transfer ELD records. Driver doesn't know how to transfer the records. Again, they don't understand how to use the tablet. Uh, 15 more failing to certify the accuracy of their ELD. That goes to this 20. That's 35 right there on that. 13 not adding the shipping document numbers. Um, not not being able to take the ELD off the RAM mount and hand it to the DOT officer. So you can see that you're not seeing a whole bunch of hours of service issues. I get into this with contractors and they go, I'm worried about, going over the hours and stuff. That's not the major problem here. The major problem is that the drivers don't know how to use the tablet. That's the problem. And we can solve all of these problems by simply teaching the drivers how to use the tablet. And we're not even talking about a whole bunch of different things. We're talking about 8 to 10 things to do properly. And then we can get rid of a bunch of these violations. I mean, 8 for not having the ELD instruction sheet. I have contractors that come to me and they go, listen, the manual is on the ELD. Okay, well, can your driver get it out of the ELD to show the officer? No, put it in the truck binder. Make sure that you have it in there. Not having blank logbooks, simply getting the logbook out of the line haul office and making sure it's in every tractor. So this is what's going on with the hours of service. It's all having to do with using the ELD. The few that I see here that are driving beyond the 14 hours or the 11 hours or things like that, it's as far and few. We wouldn't have an hours of service issue with Federal Express Corporation under this DOT if we would just simply eliminate all the things that we can eliminate very quickly. So I hope this gives you a better understanding of the overview of that. If you ever want to look up your own roadside inspection, you can go right here to the inspection history, and then you can just scroll down to the date. And when you get to one like this one, driver failing to certify the record, there's there's what's going on with that inspection. It can tell you exactly what the violation is. It can tell you what the VIN number is, the plate number, everything of what's going on. And it gives you better understanding of, well, did this get reported to Federal Express Corporation? Yes. And then how many CSA points were associated with this? And that's what that is right here, is telling you what that. These generally show up about 30 days after the roadside inspection. So if you look at this, I'm recording this the end of January and of 2025, and the last input for this was December 26, 2024. So almost 5 weeks behind on these roadside inspections. Now, Federal Express gets notification in real time from access to their own FMCSA portal. So they could get a notification about this December 26 roadside within 24 to 48 hours whenever the officer uploads it. So just because it's delayed here on the public view doesn't mean that line haul doesn't know about it a lot sooner. So be aware of that they have access to their own portal, and this stuff gets uploaded into their portal as notifications, and they look at this every day on any roadside inspection. And that's why a contractor would get an email from Linehaul going, hey, I saw that you had a roadside inspection yesterday and nobody told us about it. So make sure you make your drivers aware that that they have the ability to see this stuff and not to hide this stuff. The best way to deal with this is to just say, driver, make sure you let us know when you have a roadside. I want to pull the video on that so we get some good information on that. And then, you're able to deal with it and deal with how it's going to affect your safety scorecard. So anyway, hope this helps, gives you a much better overview of what the issues are with the hours of service. Again, this 90% of this is because the driver doesn't know how to use the tablet correctly. So if we can solve that problem, we will eliminate almost 90% of the roadside violations that have to do with hours of service. So thanks for watching.